Did you make a New Year's resolution? Maybe your New Year's resolution was to get the hell out of New York. Did you already fail at it? Well, Anne Grady is a TEDx speaker and the author of EvolvAbility. She has some suggestions to make a simple reset that actually works. Anne, good morning. How do you like the craziness here today?
Good morning, Ken. Well, thankfully, I'm in Texas and far away from the craziness, but it's cold here.
What part of Texas? Just curious.
I am outside of Austin. It's about 30 degrees and there's a little bit of snow on the ground. It's been beautiful.
Austin is one of the prettiest cities in America. One of the prettiest. Good for you. If when I retire, I'm heading somewhere. I used to live outside of Houston, but
I'm from New
Austin's where
Jersey originally, so come
look at
on.
that. Well, well, there you have it. So now you know the hell we're going through. I mean, those poor people at the
Yeah.
Lincoln. Anyway, let's talk about this. This is fascinating. I love the concept of evolve ability. So talk about that and talk about why New Year's resolutions usually fail today.
So the world is changing faster than our nervous systems can keep up, and change is really difficult. It threatens the brain. Your brain would rather be predictably unhappy than risk being unpredictably better. And over 90% of New Year's resolutions fail, not because people are lazy or don't have willpower, but because goals are based on something external. They're usually imposed and they're based on where you want to end up. Values are the way you determine how you want to show up along the way. So let's say your goal is to lose 5 pounds. That's fine. But if you do it at the expense of your happiness and your friends and your health, is it really worth it? So values give you a deeper meaning to find out what's really most important, and then basing your choices on that. Which choice reflects where you ultimately want to be?
Interesting. And you talk about a values audit. What's a values audit?
So you can do this as an individual, a family, or a team. And what you do is from a list of values, you can Google a list of values. I have a list in the book. And basically you have either you or your family or your team identify your top three values, the things that you really want to guide your decisions, determine how you show up every day. So let's say your value is respect. Okay. The next step is defining what behaviors reflect that, because values without behaviors behind them are just motivational posters. It's fine to say you value integrity. It sounds noble, but what does that really mean? So for example, let's say respect is your family value. What behaviors reflect that? Now, when my son was little, who has some special needs, it was, hands and feet to yourself. The dog is off limits. Pants must stay on, the basics. As a family, it might be how you talk to each other when you're tired and hungry and cranky, not just when everything is okay. And when you agree on these shared values, you have clear expectations. Everyone knows what's expected of them. And then it doesn't become about, just achieving the outcome. It's how you showed up along the journey to get to that outcome.
Well, how does a values first approach then help people deal with change? Because if you set those boundaries, those rules, et cetera, the goals, the values, um, does that limit you at times? Will it limit you in terms of making changes if you kind of set that framework, or is it necessary to set the framework first?
I think it's quite opposite. So your values, you live by your values every day. You just might not even realize it. And when we make choices that happen when we're stressed or under pressure or tired, we usually default to fear or urgency or convenience. They're not exactly ingredients for growth. So your values, when everything around you is changing and chaotic, identifying what's most important and then allowing that to guide your choices keeps you grounded. It allows you from losing yourself. I've got a child with intense special needs, and it was very chaotic, very traumatizing, very difficult. And we didn't know what to do at times. But when we decided that our value was family and defined what that looked like, it made even hard choices not easier, but more clear. Values don't take away pain and difficulty, but they give it a purpose.
Gotcha. Hey, and only because we're up against a hard break, what is a website
Sure.
so people can get this and get more information?
Sure. It's annegradygroup.com/evolve. And there's an evolvability index there if you want to find out how adaptable you are right now.
I love it. It's called Evolvability. Author Anne Grady. Thank you for joining us this morning. Hello from New Jersey.
Thanks for having me, Ken.